All right, settle down everybody. Hey, first a joke. Why do they name hurricanes after women? Because when they arrive, they're wet and wild, and when they leave, they take your house and your car. All right, that was kind of funny. We'll do a little better next time, maybe. So welcome, beautiful people. Welcome to Take It Off, where we are taking it off and loving each other for it. Our attempt here is to take off the baggage, remove the daddy issues, the ex-girlfriend, ex-boyfriend, fear of failure, fear of abandonment, fear of success even, which is worse. We are challenging you and us to do better. Men and women talking to each other, listening to each other has to say, to hear what the other is saying, and even, to be fair, to use words that each can understand, right? It's not going to be easy, but we're going to do it. We're going to make the effort. And speaking of effort, there is a new thing that we are starting here today, this space and time. It is men making the extra effort to let women know that we care for you, that we highly value you, that we would do pretty much in reason anything for you. It's not that difficult. But it does take work. So this is our effort. We're going to practice this. You're going to hopefully practice it also. And together we'll be in a better place. So, behind the curtain in the studio waiting for me, we have our hosts for today. The fellas aren't here. Carl and Carrie are watching from a distance. So we have we have Audrey, and we have Miss Valerie from Joyful Life. She's a personal development coach. And we are going to discuss what women really want. And if we can figure that out, we'll have world peace, we'll end hunger, we'll have clean air, clean water, full employment, and Trump won't be president. Ha-ha! Pa-da-pow! Right? So, allow me, in the spirit of honoring women, to honor you with a song. Get my game face on. I know it's corny, but we're going to do it anyway. All right. Little Frank Sinatra. Someday, when I'm awfully low, when the world is cold, I will feel a glow just thinking of you and the way you look tonight. And yesterday, and the day before, yes, you're lovely, with your smile so warm and your cheeks so soft. There is nothing for me but to love you and the way you look tonight. With each word your tenderness grows, tearing my fears and never ever change. Keep that breathless charm. Won't you please arrange it? 'Cause I love you. And just the way you look tonight. Woo. Out of here. And that laugh that wrinkles your nose, it touches my foolish heart. Lovely, don't you ever change. Keep that breathless charm. Won't you please arrange it? 'Cause I love you. And just the way you look tonight, tomorrow. I'll see you in a few minutes. Just the way you look tonight.
Welcome to Take It Off. Tonight's show we'll be talking about what women really want. And I would like to introduce you to our panel host guest. We have Miss Valerie Moore Belt. She is a personal development coach, Joyful Life. And we have Viveca Mays from Life Defined Art. And we'll be talking about what women really want today. So let's...
That's going to be kind of hard, isn't it?
No, not at all. I think most of us, we know. Even if we don't always tell you, we know.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
we'll get some advice around the table. And
All right, well, let's hear it. Ladies, you got the floor. The fellas aren't here. Carl and Carrie are probably sitting there holding their toes, or I don't know, sitting on their hands or whatever, to see what's going to happen tonight. So what do women want?
well, first of all, I think most women, they want support. Even independent women don't want to really do it all by themselves. We want a partnership. And values and integrity are important. We want to trust and believe in you. So those are the top two. And unconditional love. That means a lot in a relationship. Without it, most relationships won't last.
Wait, what was that again? Say that real quick.
Support.
Because I have a pen here, right?
Right, write it down.
All right.
So support, values and integrity, unconditional love, and all those other things will fall into place.
You know, a lot of women really want to be heard in the relationship as well. They don't want to necessarily be quote unquote arm candy or the person who does for the man. They want the man to, or their partner to hear them when they have a concern or when they're excited or whatever's going on with them.
And I think women want trust.
Wait, she didn't say trust.
I think trust
Yeah.
is important more than
Paramount.
anything.
I'm
It's
gonna add
paramount.
trust.
Yeah, you want
Without that, what else is there?
commitment. You want when
Right.
someone tells you something, you want the truth, and you want them to be faithful and honest. And
Okay, truth is an interesting thing because somebody said, you can't handle the truth. Hey, it's true. Men, tell me. You know, sometimes we want to tell women, they may ask a question, right? And we want to answer. So what happens? We have learned not to tell the truth because you guys have taught us not to, right? So, do you really want the truth?
well, we mean
Yes.
the truth that if you go somewhere, go where you say you're gonna go. When you say you're gonna come back at a certain time, we want you to come back at that certain time. I mean, truthfulness.
Yeah, sometimes it's easier to lie. It may sound a little bit better than the truth, but that's not always the best way.
For your protection, we do this.
No,
Well,
you can't.
Maybe it's for the guy's protection more than the woman's
Absolutely.
Well,
protection.
You know
if
what?
you say, how do we look in these pants? We don't want you to say, oh, you look big, even if you do. We want you to say, you know what, they look nice, but maybe you might want to wear this dress.
Okay. All right.
Another big one for me, chivalry. It ain't
Amen.
dead. Chivalry ain't
Amen.
dead. It never dies.
Amen.
So that's something that I think a lot of guys, they forgot about, or forgot how to do, or just got lazy. So let's bring that back.
I
was
just
at
called
the-
my husband out on this the other day.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You're married?
I am.
How many times?
Twice.
Twice? How long for this current?
25 and a half years.
Oh, yeah. You made the cut.
Congratulations.
No, he made the cut.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah. After
That's a long time.
25,
That's a long time.
that's a lifetime. Mm.
Yeah.
What about you? You're married.
Yes.
How many times?
I just one time, and I just celebrated. We just celebrated 34 years. I'm happy to say.
34 years.
Happy to
Congratulations.
say, and we've been together for 40 years.
I would say if a
and
man makes it 34 years,
Mhm.
he should be congratulated.
Yes, congratulations.
I'm serious.
What about the woman?
It's not that easy.
What about the
See,
woman?
it's more natural for a woman than a man. It's easier. So if a man says, you know what, I'm going to do this societal thing and I'm going to be honorable and get married and be monogamous and do this and do that and all the stuff, right?
Mhm.
Because it is not our nature, then I think women need to understand that, and not that he's looking for credit or anything, but they need to recognize that it's not a natural easy thing. That's
Right.
all.
I understand.
That's all on that part. That's all. Okay. All right. Support means what to you, Valerie? If I might ask.
Support means when I am down or
No, wait, let me interrupt for a second.
sure.
What we're doing is we are telling. There's a couple thousand people listening. We are. I'm not supposed to say that. I forgot. Erase that. Well, we don't have any erasers. This is live. You ladies are telling the guys what you really want. This is once and for all. There's no tomorrows, right? So
Okay.
so when we are done today in this like 55 minutes, they're gonna have all the answers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the men are gonna try to oblige you.
Okay.
All right? Just
Okay.
keep that in mind.
Got it.
All right, let's hear it.
So support for me means if there's something going on with me, you don't have to give me advice. You can just be my sounding board. Let me say to you, I'm really annoyed or whatever. Or be my biggest cheerleader when I've accomplished something or I'm attempting to accomplish something. Really be my soft place to fall when something's going wrong, or be my biggest cheerleader when I've accomplished whatever, large or small.
Okay. All right.
That was a face.
It was, because that's gonna work, you know, and men should actually do all that, you know, but only
it
for
doesn't
only for
always
8 minutes, not for 478 minutes. I think that's where one of the problems comes in. I don't know how many minutes 478 is, but it's a lot, right? So that's probably like several hours.
So you just mean not too long.
Yeah, not too long, because our span is just not that broad, you know. That's why you have girlfriends, right?
So in that short amount of time, make sure that
20
time is
minutes.
focused. Make sure it's focused. You're not like, yeah, okay, and you're looking at the football game or the basketball game.
Laser focus.
So what do you
That's
do?
it,
Okay,
narrow.
we're talking about solutions, right?
Mm-hmm.
My, don't ask me during the football game if you know I want to watch the football game.
Okay.
That's
all
reasonable, right?
That's
Mhm.
reasonable.
Okay,
That is.
ladies, y'all just learnt something, right? Okay, that's gonna
Timing is
That's
everything.
gonna be so much.
True.
That's gonna make so much peace, and timing is everything.
Mm-hmm.
Men, when they,
Timing.
you know, they need to have better timing when you're talking to your lady or whatever. And ladies, you know, think about it when you want to talk about something. You know, wait for the right time. So that's a good point. All right, support. Support means having your back, being your cheerleader, and giving you whatever it might be you need at the time.
Encouragement.
Encouragement.
Sometimes support means guidance as well, though. Sometimes when we are contemplating an important decision, we need a sounding board who's supportive of whatever it is we're needing help with.
Okay.
Um,
All right. What else? Big ones. What women really want. What would make you happy? It could be taking out the trash. You know,
Amen.
it could be.
So help.
Help.
Women
Help me.
want help. You don't always have to say, well, what do you need to do. You can say, look around, and that person should be able to see what needs to be done sometimes.
Wait, I'm gonna give you a high five on that, because
Okay.
I think men should not be
Okay.
waiting for some woman to tell them what to do. If you see the trash is
Absolutely.
full, go empty the trash.
True.
Right.
If you see the yard needs to be cut, go cut the grass.
I don't
That's
think,
some easy stuff.
Yeah, I don't think any woman wants a lazy man. So if he has these expectations and want you to do all these things for him, but he'll sit down and not lift a finger and not help you out with things you need to do, then, you know, the woman may not be as motivated when those days come when, you know,
Well,
he
we want
wants
you to be
Exactly.
motivated.
Exactly.
Want you to be
So, you
motivated.
know, get to those dishes
It
sometimes.
does help. It helps. You know, when you start having kids, you know, that
Oh,
man
yeah.
could help with the kids or help with the dishes, or if you cook dinner and he washes the dishes, you can get to something else a little sooner, you know?
I have a son, and I told him the other day, I was like, what are you doing? For his mother. It's like, make her life easier. And I think that might be what the help thing means. It's like, wash the dishes before she gets home. Cook some food. Do whatever it is, you know, to make life easier, because, you know, we all need it. It's not easy out there,
right.
for most of us anyway. So yes, help is probably high up there. So let's see, what else? What women want. What about the stuff that you guys always talk about? You know, I want good hair and 6'3" at least, and you know, all this.
Well, you know, those things.
Valerie, I got to look. I gotta get no words. I need some words. We don't have much time, you guys.
I mean, everyone, they'll have their non-negotiables, you know, the things we need and the things we could do without. So sometimes, you know, the physical appearances, it's important, but it's not the most important thing. So,
But I need to wear my heels.
well, you know, I mean, some women may be a little more superficial than others, so that, you know, that's
Definitely.
woman to woman. But as long as you have those things that really make the relationship healthy, then all those other things you can pass. It's the 80-20 rule. I
That's
believe in
right.
the 80-20
Isn't
rule.
I
it
believe that
20,
any man
20,
could be
20,
handsome.
80 rule?
80-20.
Absolutely.
You get if you have 80% of what you want, and that 20%, sometimes you can negotiate
Yes.
that one.
Yeah.
But I think any man could look handsome, clean himself up, cut his, you know, get a haircut, shave every once in a while. Sometimes you have to dye your hair a little bit, you know, if everything's gray. Sometimes it's better.
Yeah,
Just
clean
take
them
a
up.
shower
Clean
every
them
day.
up, yes.
You know, there's some very small things that makes a big
Every day?
difference. Every day. Every day.
All right. Hey, as soon as our engineer's ready, can we play our clips that we have? Maybe help us out a little bit. So yes, help, trust, and support, and then we'll continue after this. What's up, everybody? This is Donald with Take It Off. We have two ladies here out at the beautiful Corona Del Mar, and we're talking about what women really want. Now, if they figure that out, we'll all be in good shape. So here's the two ladies with what they have to say.
Hello. Hello, my name is Alicia. Hi. Oh, okay, so what women really want, what I want, especially in my relationship, is communication. For my partner to be open and honest. But one thing that I have to work on, which all women have problem with, is being willing and ready to receive whatever it is that your man or whomever has to say, and be able to take it and not get upset and have an attitude when it's something you may not necessarily want to hear.
Okay, I'll buy that. And you?
My name is Alexis, and one thing that I look for in a relationship that's very important to me is honesty. No matter what's going on, I just want you to be honest with how you feel and how the situation really happened. I don't want any details left out. And even if you feel like what you're going to tell me is going to hurt my feelings, just go ahead and say it. So I'd rather know the truth rather than have you beat around the bush. And leave out information, because if I find out that information later on, then I'll be really upset. So it's better to just be honest with me, tell me the truth, 100% of the truth right then and there. You know, I shouldn't have to ask for you to tell me, you should just tell me on your own. And that's one of the main things I look for in a relationship.
Whew. You know that old saying? You can't handle the truth.
I can handle it.
All right. Okay, thanks a lot, ladies.
You're
Bye.
welcome. Bye.
Hi, I'm Callie at work, and I'm in Los Angeles. I think that women just want love. I personally want somebody that matches my lifestyle and someone that's as fun as me, but also a little bit serious, but someone who can just provide me with love, care, you know, stuff like that.
Okay.
Basically, I'm an artist, so I want someone who's an artist, someone who is adventurous. I don't care about the age. I just want someone who is as active as I am, but also serious about life, wants to do good.
Hey everybody, we have Emma and Katie here, and they are from Australia. They're Australians, and they are going to answer the question, what do women want?
Okay, basically for me, you want somebody who's genuine, somebody that you will eventually want to grow old with, you know, build an empire with, all that sort of stuff, but you want somebody honest. There's way too many dishonest people around these days, so I think those are my main points for me.
Honest is relative.
Okay, well, I'm Katie. For more like what I look for in form of a relationship is more trust, loyalty, someone you can go on adventures with. But as Em said, as she's my sister, that would obviously prefer someone that you can grow up with and do all the fun things with. So yeah, that's it for me.
That sounds good to me. Thanks, ladies. See you when we head to Australia. All right, well, let's see. We had people from Australia, from Nigeria, from Moreno Valley, from Palm Springs, and I don't know where else. I think one of the current things I heard was trust. So that's going to be up on the, I guess, top of the list. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. Okay, what do women really want? So let's see. I have something here. 7 things that women need. But first, we are going to take caller number 1 on line 4. Hey, caller, what's up? What do women want?
Honestly, oh, my name is Tanasha, by the way. Honestly, I think we worry a little bit too much about all this other crazy stuff. I think that as long as my man is coming home to me at the end of the day and bringing the check home, I could care less about what he does when he goes outside the house. But as long as he's bringing the check home, taking care of me and my kids, the roof over our heads, we're good.
Well, you know, I can kind of buy that. There's some, you know, we could worry about too many things sometimes when maybe the main thing is the main thing. Keep the main thing their main thing.
And I think if he's honest and committed, he's not going to give us anything to worry about. So we don't have to worry about all these things when he comes home. We can just ask him how was his day.
But in this generation, men are not committed. Like, they cheat. That's just what they do. So,
Well, okay, now you're part of that is, you know, the men you hang out with, because, you know, I don't think in any relationship any real relationship that I've been in, that I've ever cheated. So, but yes, men do cheat, and women cheat too, boy.
Well, they have to.
What do they say? These girls ain't honest. Something like that.
Thank you, Tanasha, for calling in.
All right, thanks, Tanasha. I think that is.
We have another caller calling in. Hello, welcome.
What you got to say?
Caller.
We lost her?
Okay.
Okay, 7 things women need. To be put at ease. To be intrigued. To feel challenged. To feel accepted. To feel anticipation. To feel understood. To be seduced. What do you think?
Okay.
I could go for some, but not others.
I think having like minds and common goals, that's really important, because you can't have two opposites. some opposites attract, but you got to at least be going in the same direction. So I would say having like minds, at least have a few things in common, and that helps spice it up a little bit.
Hey, what about money? Because y'all ain't said nothing about it, like, you know, because these are the things that people say.
Well,
I mean,
money.
Is there a range, like above the medium for the area, or, you know, does it need to be? We used to say 6 figures, but unfortunately, 6 figures it doesn't go a whole.
Well, it depends on the woman and how much she needs, because some women are a little more high maintenance than others. So if you're choosing a man based on his income, then, you know, maybe that's all you're going to get is a man with money. He may not have values, you know, he may not have integrity, he may not be trustworthy, he may not be a lot of other things, but he have money. So you have to weigh it out, what's more important to you. So if you think about the important things and the true character of a person, you know, you want someone with substance. I would take substance over money any day.
Ditto.
I think you have to be able to take care of that person, so you do need a job. You do need a job.
The basics, yes.
Yeah, the basics. And then I always said if my husband had all I would need is just money, so we could do more things or have more fun or go to bigger and better vacations. But if we could just do the minimal, that's fine, as long as we have love, you know.
Right.
But there's the other aspect that a lot of us women are self-supporting. So we don't necessarily need a man to support us financially.
As long as he's supporting you.
That's great.
I mean, well, you can do so much better when you have 2 incomes in the household.
So,
I mean, you know, a lot of women are doing a lot of women are doing very well. However, that woman, she doesn't want to come home and have to take care of a man. You know, they need to work together. That's just not gonna happen. But, I mean, and then, you know, men typically will take care of their woman, you know, and I like that idea. So if you putting it together and you guys are doing it as a team partnership, then you can grow and be stronger together.
That goes along with what you said before about being like-minded.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So that's part of the mutual support of each other.
That's right.
And the relationship.
Yeah.
Well, there is a question here that we have electronically on our social media, which I'll go ahead and just say this real quick. The phone number to call in is 310-928-1800. And you can also, our social media tag is Take It Off Media, Facebook, Instagram. Let's see, it says, I've been hearing a lot about honest as a desired characteristic from the caller and guest hostesses. However, it is uncommon for a woman to entertain the interest of a man or men, knowing that they won't commit to them, but will nonetheless have them around while realizing that this man is hoping that his efforts might evolve into commitment. Oh, what you're saying is women sometimes aren't honest. So you have a guy hanging out in the friend zone, you know, trying to break through the barriers, and you're not being honest because he's, you know, you're letting him hang out. You're letting him hang out. And to finish this question, I want to make it clear in this instance that the woman is emphatically clear that there is not a snowball chance in HELL that she'll commit to him, despite entertaining his company.
Okay.
Isn't that not being honest or lying?
Right. Well, we're going to take this caller and get her opinion, or his opinion. Caller, welcome.
Hi, my name is Christina.
Hey, Christina.
Hi, Christina.
I'm calling. My question is for Viveca Mays, honestly. I wanted to ask her, I think she said she had a 36-year relationship?
Wow.
40.
40.
40 years.
Married 34.
How did you manage to stay or have such a long relationship, such a happy marriage? I mean, was there ever a time in your marriage where you felt like maybe you just couldn't do it anymore? Or was it honestly just the same in love, happy feeling all the way through?
Because that's a long time. That's a lot of years.
I can be honest with you.
Time.
It I'll say about the 25th year was when I actually wondered if something could happen, because it was a hard time my husband was going through with his job and his family, and things were happening that, of course it happens in everybody's family. But before then, we just made this commitment. We read this book at the beginning of our marriage called The Maximum Marriage. And I'd like to read that book again, as a matter of fact. And it kind of got us both on the right road, and helped us to just really commit and just have this same understanding. And we just kept going, and next thing you know, it's 5 years, and then 7 and 10, and
Wow.
it's been great ever
Wow.
since. And I mean, he was my best friend then, and he still is. So I'm
Yeah.
thankful. Yeah.
That is so sweet.
Thank you.
I am 8 years into my marriage, and sometimes I just don't know how it's gonna work. I mean,
Why?
sometimes
What
things
is it?
get
What is it?
rocky.
I'd like to know what it is that happens that makes people say, oh, I don't know if this can work.
And what would you like for him to do differently? Like real things that would make a difference in your...
Marriage is tough. The kids are young, they're wild.
Kids.
Yeah, the bills. We're looking towards buying a house together, and it's tough. And sometimes we just have to take time away from each other, and maybe that's a really important thing in marriage too, taking time and space away from each other just to work things out. And of course, communication could be better. He's not really a good communicator. He tends to kind of withdraw and get distant when he gets stressed out with work, and it makes things tough. But since you said it's possible, you give me a lot of hope, because I know that it is possible.
And it takes time every day, and it takes a lot of work. And number one, it takes prayer. It takes a lot of prayer. I don't know if people believe in that, but
yes.
I
do. Yes.
You have to pray, and you have to be strong. And I think a woman really has to be strong, especially when you have kids.
And I would say don't give up, and it helps if you seek out relationship counseling. That can really help you in your relationship, especially at this turning point. It can just make some things come together for you and turn them around, especially if he becomes distant. Maybe it'll take a third party to come in and be neutral in the situation and bring you guys a little closer together.
Yeah, part of the
That's
problem...
so true. I've definitely been looking into some counseling for sure. We really love each other. We really do, and I really want it to be a long, long marriage.
Oh, then it can be.
I
All right,
attribute
caller.
a lot of my marriage success to therapy. We've done it almost our whole marriage, like every 3 or 4 years, because it gives us a fresh new look
Like a
at each
checkup?
other, and we have
A
something
tune-up.
called check-in.
Yeah.
So yes, we do. We go to therapy like every 3 or 4 years, just to make sure we're still on the same page. We still feel the same way about each other. But we do something every Friday night at 5:30. We do something called check-in. How is the relationship going? How
That's
are you
good.
feeling in the relationship? How am I feeling
that's
in
so
the
cute.
relationship? What's pissed me off this week, or whatever? However,
So
whatever going on.
and so for the man especially, because he's not going to just say stuff, because he knows what happened if he communicates
Exactly.
sometimes.
Yes.
He's afraid,
You
right?
hold on to it till Friday, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
But he knows that it's going to be an opportunity, right?
Right.
But
So
it also gives it's a cool down period if you've had any conflict or drama or anything going on in your relationship during the week. If I've really annoyed my husband, he can cool off by the time Friday evening arrives. He's got his thoughts in order. He can say what he wants to say to me. It's wonderful.
it is a wise thing for couples to have processes.
Yes.
Say like if you argue, I had a really dear friend once, and if we had something going on, we had a process. She would get on my back, and we would walk and talk.
Wow.
First, you have that physical connection, and and it was just better, and it was a way to do it. So no matter what it is, you can get in the bathtub, you can take get on his back, you can just, I don't know what the options
Cuddle.
might be.
Yeah.
You can
Cuddle and
cuddle.
talk,
You
pillow
can do
talk.
something. You can do something that has a physical connection of some type, right? And have a process of working through whatever it is. Because if you just fly by night, just try to talk sometimes, or be angry, or don't have a process, then you can look up and as bad as communication can be, even when we're trying, because we use different words. You know, she may say something,
Yes.
and I say the same thing, and it just means something completely different to each other.
Definitely.
So we're just still in the same place and don't know it. So she says something, and I say, "Oh yeah, you're right about that." I have a friend who's...
That's great. Just finding a way to get the communication going is what's really important.
Yes, it is. It is.
You do have to communicate.
Yes. Thank you guys so much. I
Thank
love your
you.
show, by the way.
Oh, thank you for calling.
Thank you, caller.
Of course.
Bye-bye.
Take care, guys.
Okay, bye-bye.
So yes, communication is on the list. Trust is on the list. What else is big?
Goals, common goals, and like mine's.
Hope.
Hope, yes.
There's always
And desire.
Desire.
Yes, because if you
For-
desire to make it work, and if you believe in, I say if when desire meets opportunity, that's when things happen.
Yeah.
That's
Yes, you can
That's
have
good.
a perfect relationship, and I have this experience a long time ago though. Nobody y'all know. You have a perfect relationship, but if people, for whatever reason, their mentality is not there,
Yeah.
it can just fall apart. And maybe there's no reason, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. So let's see. To feel accepted, anticipation. Feel anticipation. Don't y'all want to be like, oh, what's gonna happen this week? You know.
Yeah, when I
You
mean,
like my impressions?
I think
To
you
feel
know
girly, even. I think that's not
that
you
that
know,
new
that-
stage in a relationship. It's good, but you know, you at some point, you know, you got to get serious and got to see, you know, okay, well, what else is going on? So when you get the butterflies in the beginning, and you know he's charming, and okay, well, you got to see past that, and that's what I'm looking for. You know, because I can get the butterflies for years and years if he's the one.
That's
That
right.
never
That's true.
stops.
That's
But
right.
you know, women usually know when when he's not the one, and it reflects in their attitudes. It reflects in their just their desire to want to continue, want to do the same things, and sometimes the intimacy slacks too. So that's one of the things that a man can tell if a woman is not into him anymore, or if it's something slacking, or if she's not, then that's one of the first things to go.
And I think that people have to be careful with that because, like you said, butterflies go away. Not completely, but you have to recharge all the time. You have to refuel just like a car. You have to go on dates. You have to go out to dinner.
Right.
You know, sit down and just have a conversation. If you're angry about something, think about the time you bring it up. Don't just bring it up just because you're mad right then and there, you know.
Communication.
That's one of the worst times to bring it up is when you're mad. Because men learn from women, and you wonder why. We talked about communication. You wonder why sometimes men withdraw and they're quiet. It's because you taught us that if we say a certain thing or respond or be honest, then there's all these consequences and repercussions, and we don't need that. Well, you know what? I'm about to say what men want. But that's not what I'm doing because next week we're gonna talk about what men want, and it's gonna be all men up in this piece. So I won't even. So don't let me slide into that.
We'll
'cause
wait for that one.
Yes,
Wait, I'm
it's
gonna
easy to
listen
do.
that for sure.
But the communication is really key, and also desire. So picking up on what you said, because we got to try. You know, if you don't try, if you just let it happen, it's not going to work out well. Not long term.
And I think
Effort.
people stay in relationships a little longer than they need to if they already know it's a wrap, but they hang on, and that last little thread. Sometimes, it's torture. They're doing themselves injustice.
And it shouldn't be torture.
And they're making
exactly.
everybody involved miserable.
Right, making themselves miserable. So, I would say if you know it's a done deal, save everybody some time and energy.
Yes.
If you think it can work out and you want to keep trying, then give it 100%. Put your whole heart in it and all your energy. But if you know that he's not the one, I say sit down so she can see the man behind you. That's right.
Excuse me.
Don't block my view. Don't block it.
Yeah, men
I
operate.
need to see what's going on.
Men operate a little bit differently on that. In that kind of a scenario. But okay, so let's see. Women, what they want. What else? I need a list. I need a list, y'all.
One of the things that I was thinking of is women want to be validated. And by that, I mean that women want a man to make them feel as though they are an equal partner in a relationship. Sometimes, especially we were talking about women want a man who has money. A lot of times in relationship, if the guy's the breadwinner, it's all about the guy, and the woman is kind of in the back seat, so to speak. And women want their partner to make them feel like they're in an equal partnership.
That's right. And not just he's sponsoring her, and you know, and he's paying her, or he's renting her, as long as he has money, because once he doesn't have the money, he probably will have to downgrade, you know. So the men with money, they can upgrade a little bit more.
I'm gonna have to get another job or win the lottery or something,
so you
I
can
guess.
so you can afford a better.
Well,
I've been doing something wrong, that's for sure.
I didn't work in the early part of my marriage because I wanted to, if I decided to work, I wanted to be extra. I wanted it to be supplement instead of we both have to work in order to keep this going. And I think it worked out pretty good because I was always able to pretty much do, take care of home, and then, my husband worked. But if I ever felt like I felt a little bit like I'm not contributing, then I would start to find something, to do myself, to help, to contribute. But I didn't want us to depend on that.
Right. Well, I find it interesting that when I talk to some men and they say, well, women are so independent now, they don't need us. No, we need you. We want you. We don't want to do it all by ourselves. So I think for women who claim to be so independent, sometimes they need to, scale it back a little bit. Just don't broadcast how independent they are, and maybe,
that's for sure.
Yeah, because if they put it on, up front, then sometimes it may intimidate a good man because he's thinking, well, if she doesn't need me, she's just gonna maybe not find so much time for me. Right. But when women show the man that they love that regardless of how independent she is, he's still valued to her.
Right.
And he needs to be there. And then men, step it up. Even if you don't have the money, you better get creative, because a good woman will work with you.
That's right.
To a point, to a
That's
point.
right.
I mean, yeah.
There's
always
always something.
No, you gotta
point.
You gotta make some effort and have some results too.
Absolutely.
That's
right.
true. I think men tend not to be intimidated by women. Rather, as someone commonly says, they're annoyed by them rather than intimidated. The woman might think, oh yeah, well, I'm just people say this, they really do. The men are intimidated by me and this and that. They're not intimidated, they just don't like you because you're not a nice person.
That's right.
But
nice.
And you don't tell her, you just be like, oh, okay, do your thing then. So, all right.
Okay.
I like what you just said about be nice.
Yeah.
You have to be nice to each other. You have to be giving and loving and caring. You can't just think it's just all about you. You always have to be thinking about the other person and what you could do for that person. I say it's selfless. Be selfless. To care about yourself, but think about somebody else. And if he could do the same, if men could do that, could be selfless,
That's a bonus.
that is it.
Big, yes.
That is big. Come home and
Well, I'll tell you about that next week.
okay.
And
okay.
when women stop calling nice guys thirsty, that's when we'll
Oh
win.
my goodness.
Because I
No, you
that's
gotta.
a problem.
Don't you gotta be a thug, or you gotta be mean,
no.
or if you treat them nice and they're like, oh, he's too nice.
No,
Come on,
nice
y'all.
guys
What do
are
you
winning.
want?
No.
Nice guys are winning with me.
We
Trust
want
me.
Really?
nice
Yes.
guys.
Maybe it's
Yes.
immaturity that says
Definitely.
all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't know what.
Hey, I got a couple quick announcements, you guys, because we're gonna have to go. I hate that this hour goes so fast, but I did get a couple of good notes.
Okay.
On our YouTube channel, under Take It Off Media, there is Audrey, who's not here today, is doing a 5-minute. It's called the Down and Dirty, and it is kind of a summary of all of this. So look at that. Ella Fitzgerald, her 100-year birthday is this past week. She's one of the greatest female singers of all time. I just wanted to point that out. This Saturday, there's a lot of stuff going on. We have Keeping It 100. You can look on the website, Keeping It 100 spelled out, and all that information is there. It's kind of like our subject, but it's in person, and it's catered food and drinks and stuff like that. So you can look that up, and on that channel at the bottom, all this information is there. There's a real estate seminar on Saturday. I'll be taking care of that in Yorba Linda. That information is there, so if you're interested in buying a house or selling one, or selling a really big expensive house, please call me. You know. Let's see, what else? Black and Orange County. The book club we're reading is Tainted Ice by Derek Taylor, who will actually be at the club meeting on the 21st. If you're interested in that, this is a guy who worked for ICE, the immigration people, except his time where he can't say anything is gone, so now he can tell the story, and I think it's there's a lot going on. Let's see, those are the announcements, and like I said, you can find the details of our contact information and those details in the notes on the YouTube page, as well as the previous shows. Okay, so we're going to put this little list together, and the guys, we're going to take note of it and try to be more honest. But y'all got to work with us, right?
That's right.
So allow us to be honest, and if you don't like it, just be quiet and just hold your tongue for a little while, right? Some self-control, and then later, you know, when it's good timing, you know, you can bring it up and have more conversation about it.
Okay.
What else was there? Support, value, wanting to be a part of the team and feel valued.
Integrity.
Communication.
So you want us to make, I actually have been doing a lot better at this, but it does take effort. You have to make effort to say it, even if you don't want to. And some stuff we're just not going to say because we know that even though you want us to, it's just not going to go over well. As bad as that is, but that's something to work on.
Machismo.
No, it's survival. Sheesh. Hey, men learn from women. So when we start being quiet, now this is what men want. But anyway, when men start being quiet, then take note of that and know that there's a reason for it. Not just because he doesn't feel like talking.
Yeah.
He's like, I ain't doing that again.
No,
I did that. And I've been hearing about it for the last 8 years. You know?
Okay.
All right, what else? Help your woman.
Yeah. Help
So if you see that her, for instance, she got a dirty car, you know what? Go wash the car. That's easy. That's man stuff, you know? She needs air in her tire. Don't say, hey, I noticed your tires are low. You know, take her keys and say, I'll be back. And you don't even have to tell her that you put air in the tire. But help. I think that's going to be, for long-term relationships, very important. Make a couple dollars. You don't have to make the most. And from what I'm hearing, it's not the most that counts, but you know, you need to be able to, you need to figure out something to make. It's an expensive world, you know, and sometimes both couples have to work, or whatever, but you know.
At least contribute a fair amount to the household if you're sharing the household.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yes.
And if she makes more than you, who cares? That's great.
That's all right.
But you do have to contribute, and you have to, and you might have to do a little extra because.
Exactly.
You know, it's just that
to make up for what you can't contribute.
Right.
Yes.
Hey, that's all right. Shoot, that's where I learned how to cook.
Nice. Yeah, that's right. Cooking
All right.
goes a long ways, Donald.
Hey, I like cooking too. So let's see. Anything else that's going on that we need to say? Anything you guys missed that you want to tell people that's important? This is what women want, because you're speaking for all the women in the world. Right?
I think take your time. Things come slowly. You build. There's something new all the time. There's something new you can learn from each other. And you can teach people how to treat you, you know, by loving yourself. And it's really not that hard. It just takes effort, just like planting a garden.
The last thing, I think, unless there's something else, is a theory I have about women and wanting. My theory is, and I might have to work on it, that women want to want. So if they want something and you give it to them, they're happy, but now they need to want something. So they're never satisfied.
Well, you can never give everything, so there's always going to be something else that you can give.
That's called leaning into life.
Right.
Leaning into life.
And time is free. You can give time, quality time. It won't cost you a thing. Mm-hmm. So that's big, quality time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. We'd like to thank Major, our engineer for today. Tell me your name again. And Erica, who's sitting there all nice and, you know, innocent looking. She ain't that innocent because these girls ain't loyal. Composer James Goring for the original music. Our panel, Miss Valerie, Miss Viveca. And like I said, the contact information will be. Now, Viveca, you're an artist, right? So you do paintings and stuff? Portraits?
Any kind of paintings.
Any kind of paintings.
But I specialize in African American art.
Okay, good. So we'll put your information down there in the notes also, and as well as Valerie. And thank you, callers, for your input. That was very valuable. Men out there listening, this is what women say they want. Let's give it to them, all right?
That's right.
See you next hump day where we're taking it off and loving each other for it. All right, girls, I hope it...
Never give up. You know that you must not stop, and the time will be nearing when you come into your own. Something deep inside you once was half, now is whole. Never give up.